All right. Um, so we left off at I'm trying to remember where we left off at actually. I think I had just finished fighting both the Dragon Slayer and the Dragon Rider, so we secured both of them. On the one run, we didn't have to go to a bonfire or anything, and it gave me essentially a much better situation. Oh yeah, this is the one that died. So we have this. Take that out. Right. So now we're in a much better standing for securing our build and preparing ourselves for the pretty much treacherous road. I have this Dragon Lake shield. I still am not convinced with it because of how much it requires just to use the damn thing. But we use it for now. I'm still running the broadsword. We have a good amount of money. I want to actually. Do I have a fragrant branch of yore? Yes, I do. Keep forgetting to fully talk to my lady Melentia. Hmm. Love that lighting, man. Really like enhances the hell out of the game. There's an area here you can dive very easily in, so you try to be very careful here. What I like to do is I like to clear these guys out first. Yeah, when you don't, if you didn't plus your weapon at this point, these guys can be very tanky, very, very tanky. Take a lot to kill them. And I would say they're one of the first few enemies because of how many of them swarm you at once. It's relatively difficult to get off a backstab, and even if you do, you have a tendency to take chip damage from the rest of the teammates that they have. Yeah, these guys definitely are one of the more annoying enemies in the game, at least early on. Yeah, but again, my favorite technique with these guys is to like a really good technique, especially with like broadswords and many of the sword type weapons, is an R1 into an R2. Usually does a better job than spamming the R1. You got to realize that the R1s knocks back the opponent more than you go forward. So eventually they actually go away from your sweet spot. But the R2 gives you a little bit of a closer attack and gives you more damage in the swing. Generally speaking, I take the time to buy these things because there are certain enemies where it can make the fight a lot easier because of the type of damage they do. I also take poison mist and flash sweat. We're not going a pyromancy build, but it's always nice to have poison for certain fights, especially the smelter demon. Smelter demon poison really helps a lot because the smelter demon does get to a point in his attack pattern where he can literally one-shot you. Not to mention you taking a bunch of chip damage, so definitely helps. Something I do a lot in this game is while I'm in the middle of a backstab, I assess my situation. So I'm always turning my camera. You just never know who's like, if if like a couple enemies are running in your direction and stuff. This is probably the one game where weird things have a tendency to happen. Um, you 1 minute you're one game you'll be fighting like you know, there's a certain pattern that they would follow, and then the other moment they change up a little bit in terms of like where they're positioned. Like sometimes it's just that one enemy that just happened to see you just a little bit more than your last bonfire rest. So it's always good to look at your surroundings, especially with these geezers. Yeah, it's always good to have a lot of HP in these type of runs. So your HP is definitely priority. I always prioritize in runs like these. I always prioritize HP over damage. Damage is nice, but your damage is actually pretty good if you use the right equipment for the right situations. Can really see there. Yeah, there's a lot of enemies that's weak to lightning in this game, so I always like to keep those. Oh. It's crazy that I still can't believe that there's been a fire seed here this entire time and I never knew. Oh, there's a guy right there. Let's just run away from him for now. Fall on May in here, and if he does, you may have a problem. Okay, didn't follow us. Nice. All right. Let's go plus our weapon before we die unnecessarily. This is not it's not a run where you want to just be hoarding souls and doing nothing with it. You want to maximize the amount of stuff you use. I do save a little bit just in case I need to buy something immediately, because farming is really not recommended, as it always puts you up to, it always puts you at a risk of getting killed in some weird silly way. All right. Claymore is pretty much going to take care of everything out here. I'm not really a fan of that shield, I tell you. Just weighs too damn much. Also looks really ugly. Okay. Now, the issue I always have with these type of swords, like Dragon Lake sword and the Murakumo and stuff like that, is the extremely high sword strength investment for a weapon that scales heavily with dex. Keep in mind that you have to spend, I don't know, I would say like maybe on average 15 levels or so just to get this up based upon class, just to get the strength requirement. Then you have to pump dex. All of that points could have been gone into adaptability had you went with like a katana or something that doesn't really require much strength. And so as a result, great swords that are dexterity based to me are a little bit silly, and more for fun, or they are usually what I would call like new game plus weapons, where you're going above the PvP cap, which is about 125 to 130 in this game. But yeah, I just don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it at all to for that. Okay, from over. Get one of my favorite like side weapons. Craftsman's hammer. Reason why I like this because it has really good A scaling, and one particularly good thing about it is that it has a R1 longsword based swing, which is covering a large area around my character. Also, it's good for dealing with Twinkling Titanites, because Twinkling Titanites get away very easily from the Claymore if you're not positioned properly, just because of the way the Claymore swings. So, this helps a lot. Chill, Crystal. I just woke up not too long ago. Okay. Let's go here. Did you sleep okay? I slept okay. Now I have the ability to be up for another 20 hours. I may actually end up going with the other one instead. Yeah, now I'm doing much more damage. behind me. This area is what I call Gang City. So, well, I should say this game is Gang City. So you always watch your back. Yeah, notice how how I turned myself like in that situation where like I'm fighting them here. I already know there's nobody else there. So in the fight, I made sure to position myself this way at some point to see if somebody else was in the back. I can't memorize everything. It's impossible. So you always want to just make sure you're watching your back at all times when you're fighting when you're in these scenarios, because it never fails. See, look at that. See? And then there's this guy here. There may actually be somebody else there. I'm not sure, but let's just deal with him for now. Key to this guy, yeah, bait him into his attack, and then you attack afterwards. You can't lock onto him, so. It's not that, baby. Nah, I forgot you have to work today, so that's actually really shit. Do you get this day? Do you get the day off back during the week or no? I think I might actually plus this weapon. No, yeah, that enemy is really annoying. That enemy is like stupid. You can't lock onto them, so you gotta kind of fight them. You know, thing is bad enough you can barely see them. Yeah, but that overtime kind of sucks, doesn't it? Don't you get like overtime after 40 hours, or do they just give you the whole day as overtime? If you only get like if you only get it after 40 hours, then technically speaking, if I'm not mistaken, that means you'll have to have worked like what? You would only get like 2 hours OT. Unless you get the whole day as OT automatically. Like for us, we only get, well, I'm 12 hours, but like a standard 8-hour shift only gets 37 and a half hours because half of the break, like the break you take is unpaid, or maybe it's different for you. I don't know. Okay. If you want time or money, okay. But isn't the time low key better? Like no. Like like it's that comp time, right? Like time you can bank for some other time. Because when I say OT, I'm thinking about like the money, like Oh, since it's the weekend. Okay. 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 All right. Okay. Cool. So then that means you get. Okay. So you do get. Yeah, I was wondering that because for us, weekend is considered regular days. It's just a 24-hour place. I forgot that it's a little different when it's not. Uh, I'm like, because that would have sucked if. Well, then in that case, the overtime pay is definitely better. I only think overtime is worth it if it's an entire day's pay worth of overtime. Like when it's only like 3 hours or some shit like that, it's better to just take comp. Titanite chunk, petrified dragon bone. Needed that to upgrade the weapon. I might actually go. I'm thinking about even going to upgrade the weapon now, rather than just waiting. Nachka can be a little bit annoying, so she's actually a fight that you want to get rid of as quickly as possible. Her hitboxes are very wonky, awkward, unless you have really good adaptability. But if you don't, you'll be getting chip damage over and over. I have a divine blessing in case she gets me with the toxic, because toxic kills you so quickly. Yeah, if it's like a few hours, I definitely just take, I definitely just take contact. It's not even worth it. So, 3 hours, you know, a few dollars, and most of the shit goes to taxes. And then you gotta wait an entire like several months if you want to get it back. If you get it back, if you owe, I guess you owe less. Uh, okay, let's go. Yeah. Yeah, the taxes shit is annoying. I mean, now you do get more back from your taxes when you go overtime, up to a certain amount. So there's that, but I'd still take the hours if it's like a little bit. But a whole day's pay? Oh yeah, no, I'm taking that shit. Day's pay of work in overtime is OP, so it's a dramatic difference. All right, so you have the weapon plus up. Hmm. Oh, my boy jumped into that sword. My enemies throwing themselves at my sword. My yeah. What's up, bro? Damn, that's on. Damn. Yeah, sit down real quick. Oh man, that's really that is. Ugh. Weave, weave. Hmm. Interesting that he got through that. Ah man. Yeah, falling like that in battle is such a like death. Like I don't even want to. I can't even begin to imagine. Like falling like that in the middle of a sword battle is just auto death, bro. You might as well not even bother at that point. Like, you're in the most disadvantageous position possible. Okay. Oof. Bit of a texture glitch there. That was not a game glitch. I don't mind. We do have to come back here at some point when we get the fragrant branches of yours necessary to get the stuff open. This guy is here. Just hit him real quick with a couple of these. We should do Huntsman's Cops first, actually. Creighton's not even here. And I want Creighton's armor. Creighton's armor is actually very, very, very strong. It's like a medium set, but it has like slightly higher stats than the average medium set, especially against slash damage, and you deal with slash damage a lot in this game. So, probably get to, you know what? We go to, I think we should be able to go through No Man's Wharf. Actually, stupid. I need fires, so we're gonna go to Huntsman's Cops first. We're gonna get what we need. We need a few, we need a few torches to be able to see, because the lighting engine mod makes this shit really, really difficult to see. So helps a lot. Let's pay the 2,000 souls. Small amount to get into a whole new biome, right? That'll pretty much kill you every step of the way. Once you get past the shaded woods spot where it's like, you know, shady, it does it's a lot more straightforward than most maps are. Oh, I didn't do the thing. I forgot. Oh man, I'm really rushing around today, huh? Yeah, you know, so I don't know. I think it's not a big deal at all. Pretty easy to get to Nachka. The hard part for that, I would say, is I think that area is more boss intensive than location intensive. Usually it's not both unless you're playing the DLC. So it'll either be very, very boss intensive where like the boss is very, very strong, but the place is pretty straightforward. Or it'll be not so straightforward. And pretty goddamn grueling to get through. But the boss is pretty easy. Like Iron Keep. Iron Keep's boss is like ridiculous. It's like the hardest part is not falling off the cliff. Yeah, want to really take too many chances in Dark Souls 2 with like edges like that, so I just hugged the wall, man. And the game has such a slidey animations. You will often find yourself off the cliff if you step just a little bit off. I don't think these guys are. I don't think this guy is. I should have just used my weapon for that. Don't want to waste my bolts. Some nonsense. Don't really want to roll here. I'd rather just take the damage. Rolling just can just get you killed in this place. I think going down there is a little bit silly, but I do believe there's a thing chunk down there. And I do have Homer bones, right? Okay, I do. Nice. I cannot believe I died like that. The game literally lagged, and then I think the game stopped midway in my inertia and literally got me killed. Well, with that being said, let me go get some stuff done, and then I'll come back and start this again. Yeah, that's the only issue. I'm looking back at, yeah, see, look at that. There was like a lag where my game just froze and kind of stopped there. So, oh well, not a big deal. It wasn't really that far off. It's just kind of annoying. Really wanted to get that. I believe there was a Titanite chunk there that I could have benefited from and get my weapon up a little bit in pluses, but I guess lesson learned. Take no chances with any of these false places.